Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we visit Scunthorpe and the Saves Our Steel March, and we visit Torfaen Tower, a ruin in much need of some TLC. And tonight's guest is Jane Wenham-White, here to talk about St Andrew's Hospice Light Up a Life campaign. And Emma Lingard will bring the region's business news. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Hugh Richards. Time now for the news headlines.
The leader of North Lincolnshire Council says they are doing all they can to save the 900 jobs that are set to go at Tata Steel. It comes after hundreds of steelworkers and their families marched to the council offices in Scunthorpe. Over 3,000 people signed a petition asking for a reduction in business rates for the site.
I feel this council has been pressing that case really hard. We've been really digging in deep to make sure that message is very clear to government.
Well, we need action, and we need action now, and we've had enough warm words of comfort. So now's the time to do something to support the steel industry in the UK to make sure we've got a sustainable industry going forward.
A number of events have been held across the region to mark Remembrance Day for all those who have fallen in conflict. People gathered at Grimsby's cenotaph to pay their respects. There were also several installations, including one at Grimsby's top town market, replicating the Tower of London poppy display. A new stop smoking service is to continue despite cuts of £1.5 million to Hull City Council's public health budget. That's according to Public Health Registrar James Crick, who says the new stop smoking service, which allows people to self-refer and be referred by a doctor, will continue to run after launching on October the 1st.
Hull has historically had high smoking figures, and the most recent information published by Public Health England has confirmed that. The City Council is responsible as part of the shift in the Health and Social Care Act to tackle the smoking issue, and we've commissioned a new service that started on the 1st of October.
Schools are to join forces to improve student outcomes. Pupils at Melly Lambert School in Hull will be part of a formal multi-academy trust partnership with East Riding's South Hunsley School and Sixth Form College and Hunsley Primary School from next year. And Hull's Christmas lights switch on is set to go with a bang. A firework display will take place as part of the popular event, and hundreds of people are expected to see the spectacular at Queen's Gardens. And that's all from the news.
Steel workers around the country descended on Scunthorpe yesterday to march in defence of the British steel industry. On one side, the government and North Lincolnshire Council, who say they are doing enough to help the industry and to ease redundancies locally. On the other hand are the unions and the steel workers, who say the government aren't doing enough. We met with both sides as the march took place.
They came in their hundreds and stood together as one. Steelworkers from around the country descended on Scunthorpe yesterday to show solidarity with all steel industry workers made redundant in recent months, including the 900 in Scunthorpe. The marchers, armed with a petition, aimed to force the council to cut Tata Steel's business rates, one of the reasons the company has got into difficulty. Council leader Liz Redfern says EU rules make this impossible to change, but unions are saying that a devolving of powers will give the council more power to change rates.
No, there are many asks that we've asked government, and that is one of them. We are being told, because of EU rules, that it is illegal to do that. But nevertheless, we shall keep saying, is there a possibility, or some way around that we can help in that way?
Well, I think it's a statement of fact insofar as that is the current position. But our understanding is George Osborne has indicated that he is going to devolve some of those powers to local authorities. So when that happens, and hopefully it'll happen sooner rather than later, Baroness Redfern, did you say, won't have the ability to hide behind that excuse.
The government has taken a lot of flack for their overall handling of the steel industry crisis, seeing it as being too pragmatic and doing too little too late. Local MPs have been lobbying government to show support, and a local task force was set up to ease the pain of redundancies. Councillor Redfern says the task force will be effective in holding government to account, and that she has the support of the Prime Minister and his government.
Well, we've had 2 meetings now. A lot of work is going on behind the scenes, getting our ask ready to government, what we want government to help and support. So that is vital, that is up and running, and I'm pleased really pleased how it's going. I did take a call from the Prime Minister on Friday, and he is fully committed to support us in making sure we continue with UK making the steel here in Scunthorpe.
No matter what steps the government and council take to try and ease the pain and secure the future of British steel, the unions maintain their position that it's too little too late and that there have been warning signs for years. They say more should have been done to stop cheap steel imports and to make infrastructure projects use British steel. Either way, their message to the government and of the steelworkers marching with them is a simple one.
Well, no, they haven't done enough by any stretch of the imagination at this point in time. It's taken the absolute tragedy, unfortunately, of the closure of the steel mill, steel plant in Teesside to wake the government up to the situation that we have a crisis and we have serious challenges within the industry. Now, you know, the government are trying to do what they can, but they should have been doing this 12 months, 2 years ago. We've been campaigning on these issues for years, and it's suddenly taken a tragedy to bring them to their senses to say, yes, you know, we need to recognise the challenges of the steel industry.
And if there's a story you'd like us to look into, then please contact the news team either through the Facebook or Twitter pages, or email news@estuary.tv, or call 01472 3155553. Let us know what's happening in your area. Still to come tonight, we visit Torfaen Tower, a Grade 1 listed medieval ruin in much need of some repair, and Emma Lingard will bring the region's business news, and we'll have all the latest in local sports news. It's nearly the festive season, that is, it's about 7 or 8 weeks till Christmas, and for St Andrew's Hospice that signals the start of their Light Up a Life campaign. Joining me to tell us more is Jane Wenham-White, head of the hospice's income generation department. Sounds very grand.
Good evening, Hugh.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
What is Light Up a Life?
Well, it's a campaign that we've been doing for many years now. It provides an opportunity for people to remember people not only who've died, but people who are working overseas or travelling overseas, or anything really. Anybody that people like to remember who won't be with them this Christmas. It's an opportunity, I think, for people who perhaps don't have a sort of formal religion these days to actually remember people. And also it raises some money to help us continue our care at St Andrew's Hospice.
Excellent. Well, you say it's people without a formal religion, but there are church services involved.
It is indeed. It's very much a family church carol service, and that takes place on the 28th of November at the Minster at 2 o'clock.
That's Grimsby Minster, 2 o'clock, 28th of November, for a carol service, proper traditional songs.
Absolutely, yes.
What have you got here? Silent Night, Once in Royal David City.
Away in a Manger, I think, as well.
God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen?
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's the only one I can play on the guitar. What else is going on apart from the service?
Well, we'll be writing to all our supporters to ask them if they would like to actually sponsor a light on the tree. There'll be a very large tree actually erected in the Grimsby Minster, and at one point in the service, a very poignant point, all the lights will light up on the tree. Be lots of gasping, and it's just a celebration really of people's lives, whether they're with us now or not.
How many people do you expect? How many usually turn up?
We usually get between sort of 500 and 600 people.
Really?
Actually, one year we had to put 2 services on because it was getting so popular.
500-600, but that's a full house.
It is, absolutely, yeah. So we're hoping we'll get a full house again this year. And it's here, once again, it's a family service, so children are very, very welcome as well. It's only short, half an hour, so for everybody's attention span.
Excellent. No sermon then, I take
it?
No. That's always
uplifting.
An improvement. Good. Okay. You've got other things going on at the hospice itself, though, haven't you?
Well, we're actually just catching up on the redevelopment. We completed the first phase a few months ago, in around about April time. So we've now got a spanking new hospice with 12 ensuite bedrooms. So we've increased out the number of people we can care for by 50%. And we've got a huge community hub, which is really for everybody, and we're putting on all sorts of different events. So we had the Halloween Mingle recently, and a life planning day.
Halloween Mingle.
Halloween Mingle. It went very well. People got dressed up, face painting, all sorts of stuff happened.
Okay.
And we're soon to have weekend of 12th, 13th of December, time to be agreed. We're going to have breakfast with Santa. So people should look out for that on our website.
Excellent. I take it Santa does not eat venison.
He does not eat venison, no.
For breakfast.
But he's very, very, very keen on bacon sandwiches.
Is he? Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough. That's all right. How's the redevelopment going at the hospice? It's been a very, very big project, hasn't it?
It has, yes. I mean, huge amounts of money. It's a cost. We're now moved on to the second phase of the project, which is a health and wellbeing centre, and we're hoping that the builders will finish that towards the end of this year, beginning of next year. And it'll all start to be operational around about the spring, but we still need funds to actually complete that. So if anybody would like to contribute, then please do get in touch with us.
Okay, how much do you need?
Well, the whole health and wellbeing centre is costing just over £1 million. We've got about 650,000, so we need another 350,000 pounds.
Can't quite write you that cheque, I'm afraid. Jane.
Oh dear, it's a shame.
Sorry about that.
Maybe one of the listeners will be able to.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Well, possibly even one of the viewers as well. How many people do you help, as it were? And how many people can you look after at one time?
At any one time, we can actually look after 16 inpatients and a whole variety of day patients as well. We're probably talking in the region of sort of 300 or 400 patients, but probably 2,000 people, because obviously the holistic care we offer actually encompasses all the people that are involved in the patient's care, and that's also siblings as well.
An enormous number of people just volunteer. They rather than giving money, they give time.
Absolutely, about 600 volunteers we've got on our books at the moment who run our shops for us, help in every area of the hospice, and we couldn't do without them. They're amazing, and great ambassadors obviously for the work of the hospice too in the local community.
Absolutely. Just a quick reminder, Light Up a Life going on at Grimsby Minster, 2 o'clock on Saturday, November the 28th. Always a good thing. Well, it's just a chance to go and sing the Christmas carols, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Always fantastic. Jane, thank you very much for coming in.
My pleasure.
Stay with us, as coming up after the break, we visit the Grade 1 listed Torfaen Tower. Emma Lingard will bring you the region's business news, and we'll bring you all the latest in local sports news and results. Welcome back. You're watching Estuary News. Still to come, we visit the Grade 1 listed Torfaen Tower to find out what's happening with this old ruin, and we'll have the latest local sports news and results. Talking of old ruins, over now to Emma Lingard with the business news for East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire.
Welcome to the business news for East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. Trade unions demanded reductions to Tata Steel's business rates during a march through Scunthorpe yesterday. The company pays £15.2 million a year to North Lincolnshire Council in rates, but unions say the high costs are too much financial pressure. The council, however, say EU rules mean they can't reduce the rate, but the unions are calling on the government to intervene and bring forward an energy compensation package.
Because of EU rules, that it is illegal to do that, but nevertheless we shall keep saying, you know, is there a possibility or some way around that we can help in that way? Yeah,
there's a number of key asks that we've supported the industry on, and business rates is one of those key asks, as is the high energy costs, and we're calling on the government to introduce the energy intensive compensation package sooner rather than later, and they can do that straight away, and we're hoping that that's going to happen.
More businesses should take on graduates. That was the opinion of a Grimsby business who have taken on 2 interns as part of the Graduate Advancement Programme. The project is funded by North East Lincolnshire Council in partnership with Job Centre Plus. The aim is to keep talent locally, and Glenn Thow's business has benefited.
Young people, for me, offer the opportunity to allow a lot of creativity to come into the business. They're young, they're ambitious, and if you provide the right environment, nurture them and support them and let them go and give them responsibility, then it's just amazing what can come out of that. Take a look at the graduate programme, take some time out of what you're doing day to day. You might be pleasantly surprised at just how much work you can offload onto these people and how much they can take from you to release you to develop your business rather than working in it.
The Saucy Fish Company is now available in one of America's leading natural and organic retailers. The Grimsby-based company will see 3 of its popular ready-to-eat line of pre-cooked seafood being sold. The move into the international market is a key focus for the brand. Team Humber Marine Alliance has signed a memorandum of understanding with Offshore Energy, a Danish renewable company. The 2 business development organisations plan to harness the potential of supply chain companies in both countries. Hans Pedersen, head of Offshore Energy's renewables division, hoped it would benefit the industries and bring closer ties. North Lincolnshire Homes is changing its name. The social housing company is part of OnGo, and as part of a rebrand, it will become OnGo Homes. The association has invested in many community projects over the years. In 2017, the group will move to Scunthorpe Town Centre. And the former Wyndham Gate Castle Press site in Grimsby has sold at auction for £200,000. The new owner has not yet been revealed, but auctioneers Clark Waitman said they were a local business. And that's all from the business news this week.
Torfaen Tower on the banks of the Humber Estuary is a remnant of a time gone by. It's believed to have been a medieval fortified house, and it's now in need of much renovation, but that requires money. We sent James Smart to meet the guardian of the tower, Simon Taylor.
Well, the Torfaen Tower is a wonderful brick structure. It's one of the earliest brick structures in the country. It's about 1400, we're not quite sure, but on the far side there is an emblem, a badge of when the family got married in 1438, so it's about that period. But if you go inside at ground level, there's a brick barrel vaulted ceiling. Really, really unique. If you're in London, you say it was a bit like the tube station. It's like that. And then within the walls, there's a stair, and the stair takes you up to the first landing, and there's a room up there. And then within that wall, there's another stair that takes you up to the next landing, which isn't there anymore, that's gone. And then there's another stair that takes you up to the roof, and the roof is missing. So it was a proper little self-contained castle, or well, whatever they called them in those days, but it was a fortified manor house. Well, we need to save the tower for the future. We don't actually know at this moment what the future is going to be, but we need to save. So after this first stage, we're going to get a roof on it. If we get a roof, then we can use the inside. At the moment, no roof, we can't use it. We're going to put the castellations back. If you look up there, you'll see the castellations are missing. We're going to put those back, hopefully, and we're going to repair all the cracks and point the brickwork and things like that. So what we should end up at the end of this phase is a fully repaired ruin with a roof on, and that leaves us ready, a good starting point for the future to bring it back to whatever use we're going to be. It could be a dwelling, it could be accommodation, it could be bed and breakfast, it could be a meeting place, it could be absolutely anything. All options are open. Well, yes, you always need money. If you're looking up, there's an ancient monument and it's grade 1 and we need some money spending on it. The thing about the tower though is it's small. It's not a big stately home, so we're not talking of millions. We are talking of a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money. We're hoping to hear some good news very soon, but we will have a shortfall, and we don't know how big that shortfall is, so we don't really know how much to go out and collect and save or borrow until we get that answer. So we're just like stuck in the middle at the moment.
And tomorrow we'll revisit the tower and look at some more of its history with Simon. Joining me now for a quick look at the stories that have caught her eye, Erica Barker.
Hello, Hugh. I'll start off then. So the Daily Mail has submitted 6,000 Freedom of Information requests. Some interesting feedback from that. We're going to start off with Humberside Police Chief Constable Justine Curran claimed £39,000 in expenses when she moved to the area from Scotland. She says those costs were surveyors, lawyers, stamp duty, things like that. The relocation money means that she received a pay packet of £215,000 for the period between 2013 and 2014, which includes her £142,000 salary and a £34,000 pension contribution.
Right, well, that's a well-paid police officer.
Commenting on the figures, Humberside Police and Crime Commissioner Matthew Grove has said that was in line with what was appropriate at the time, and no wrongdoing has been done there. But the results have shown that 670 police officers across the country received more than £100,000 between 2013 and 2014, obviously including her.
Well, that's I think that's a story about the very high wages we're paying public officials in the public sector. I think you might have something more on the same.
Yeah, so that comes on to NHS figures then. So the cost of top NHS wages in North East Lincolnshire area last year was 33 million. Now, it named the chief executive of Lincolnshire East Care Commissioning Group as the biggest earner of all CCGs in the country, taking home £479,223 last year. So the biggest earner in the country.
Well, the Chief Constable must be furious that he's earning so much more than she is. What big sums of money, Erica?
Yes, very big. Do you get paid that much, Hugh?
I don't, sadly, no. But on the other hand, I just enjoy my work.
I'm going to move on then to another story. So this is the dangers of getting drunk at home. Have you heard of something called preloading?
This is where you drink cheap booze at home before going out to the pub. So that you're already a bit sloshed by the time you get to the bar.
It is. So with alcohol getting more expensive, people are choosing to drink at home, save some pennies, but this is becoming a big issue. According to Hull City Council, they're going to be starting a new initiative, a new campaign targeting younger people and parents to try to combat this.
I drink at home, but I don't go out after I have been drinking at home. Am I going to drink at home or stay or go out?
I think it's the binge drinking culture, isn't it?
It is.
About drinking large amounts in short periods, and if you're drinking a large amount at home to get a little bit tipsy before you go out, that's the issue, rather than spreading it over the course of an evening.
I drink my homemade wine, Erica.
Oh yeah, you've told me about this.
Nobody can drink a large amount of that because it's foul. Absolutely disgusting. Thanks for those stories, Erica.
Thank you. Grimsby Town recovered from a goal down to beat Barrow at Holker Street. The hosts took the lead just after the half hour when Otis Corner found its way straight into the net. But Town were only behind for 5 minutes, with Padraig Almond netting 2 goals and Josh Gowling completing the turnaround, making it 3-1. Ahmed Al-Mohammadi says the international break comes at a good time for the Tigers ahead of a busy winter schedule. Hull City have won their last 5 league matches and are unbeaten in 12 games in all competitions, but 9 games in the space of a month threatens to test the Tigers squad to the full when they return to action. And Robert Snodgrass said it felt great to be back out on the park after playing his first game for almost 15 months on Monday night, returning to action as part of the Tigers under-21s side. It's been reported one-time Scunthorpe United skipper Mark Jackson has returned to his boyhood club Leeds United. Jackson left his job as assistant manager at the Evo Stick League side Farsley Celtic to take on the post. The 38-year-old former centre-back has taken on a job with the Championship Club's Academy, where he will work with the under-15 and 16 teams at Thorpe Arch. And Championship side Bradford Bulls have signed a Hull KR centre Chris Wellham. A 28-year-old spent 9 seasons with the Robins, scoring 102 times in 191 games. And that's the latest from the sport.
And that's it for tonight. If you have a news story for us, then please do visit our Facebook or Twitter pages, email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 31553. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Rix Petroleum, your local family-owned heating oil supplier this winter.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Thursday, a fine and breezy morning with some sunshine, gradually clouding over through the day with strong squally winds developing for the evening, accompanied by outbreaks of heavy rain, a maximum temperature of 14 degrees. Friday, windy and feeling much colder with sunshine and blustery heavy showers.
Rix, servicing the region's oil boilers this winter from a name you can trust. Get in touch at rix.co.uk or call us on 01482 838383.